Hi, everyone. My name is Julie, and I have been getting a couple requests to share the crazy dream I have talked about before that sort of kicked off all of my experiences with lucid dreaming and out of body astral projection. And um, this was a dream that took place a couple years ago. So this was the beginning of September, and I wrote about it, and it can be found in my writings, but I'm just going to share with you all. I call it Time to Expand, the Catapult Dream. And so it was a very crazy and elaborate dream, something I don't remember experiencing before. So in the dream, this is when I'm dreaming that it's evening, and I find myself outside in someone's backyard, and there are people casually hanging out by a pool in a well-lit section of the yard, enjoying each other's company. And as I glance around, I see that the yard isn't too large and it's fenced in by a brick wall. And everything outside the yard on the other side of the brick wall is dark, and it has this sort of mysterious air to it. And I look up at the starry night above, beautiful night, so many stars, and I feel this overwhelming desire to venture right on up into that vast sky. And so I just do. And I jump up and I take off, soaring with my eyes peering straight up into the darkness. And I feel light as I drift up into the sky with ease, sensing just a bit of like the coolness of the night. And I don't know how far or how long I ascend upward, but at some point I stop and simply float there among the stars in a peaceful state. And then suddenly I wonder if I can go back or if I've gone too far. So I turn around, and I'm thankful I can see just a glimpse of the yard and the pool far below. So I choose to go back. And upon returning, I see that it's late afternoon. It's not dark. And then I suddenly realize that things don't look quite the same. I perceive that it's many hundreds of years into the future. And this is just a perception I had, it's a sense I knew. And then I see the house where I grew up. And then I think, or is that the house where I raised my children? But it doesn't quite look the same, but somehow I know it's my house. And I know, like I seem to know, have a knowing that the people living in that home will certainly be my descendants. So surely they'll take me in. So as I approach the house, I'm surprised to see it's on stilts, which is strange. But I knock, and I'm still standing down below on the grass looking up at the door. And then a man opens the door and he looks down at me. And I ask him, how am I supposed to enter? There's no stairs. And so he throws down a rope, but like a thick rope. And so I start to climb, but then the door shuts. And then the small like monitor comes, and it's like kind of appears before me out of thin air in a sense. And then I turn and to ask these people, a couple people who are watching me climb this rope with like this curiosity in their eyes. I'm like, what's this monitor all about? And why can't I just be invited into this house without delay? And so apparently the information I was given was that the governments that rule this territory, they're very careful about newcomers, and they have to run like background checks or something to figure out who I am or where I've come from. So suddenly I hear these warning sirens beginning to sound. And again, I have this perception like all the residents are making their way, rushing back to their homes. And so I guess in this way, the governing bodies can more easily find the misfits and the outcasts or something. And I think, well, maybe I don't know, maybe I'm a misfit or an outcast. So I run to hide, and I find this spot in the shadows under a pier near my descendants' home. And so night's closing in, and I feel sleepy as I'm just lying there quietly. And then a few feet away, I hear the voices of three men, and I'm thinking they must see me. So I close my eyes and am thinking if I don't look up, maybe I'll vanish from their sight. And so their voices get louder as they approach, and it feels too late. And then I notice their voices being slowly drowned out by the sounds of a distant celebration. And I open my eyes, and then I'm caught back upward into the sky, and I swiftly sail toward the stars and witness what appears to be dancing souls in unison to the sound of their singing. And then I immediately join them in their dance and in their song. I somehow know it. And we're singing about this moment that one recognizes we are each like a unique star in the sky, and that together we are brighter and more beautiful than any one star by itself. And our dance and our song are both in this perfect rhythmic and harmonious timing. And we're just celebrating. And then down below, I know the townspeople can't see us. And I know they're continuing their search for misfits and outcasts. And they don't realize there's a celebration going right above them, just like in their midst, but just right out of reach, for them. And a strange thing happened in my dream. I paused and continued dancing at the same time. So I sensed that I was doing both. And then I paused to scan not the city scene right below us, but the horizon. And I see that this earthly dwelling is quite beautiful with its oceans and islands and cities and all kinds of created grand structures. But I also noticed that this earthly dwelling and even the celebration in the night sky is enclosed. Not like the yard was with the brick wall so much, but it had that same feeling, that sensation that something wonderfully mysterious lies just beyond this place. And so I take off yet again, but not up. This time I went out, and I make my way through a structured, illuminated maze with tunnels. My soul shoots out through the other side, and I once again see bodies of water and islands and what seems to be a very beautiful type of dwelling place. But I do perceive that we're on the outside of the previous dwelling. But even though on the outside, I can see the previous earthly dwelling off in the distance somewhere, in a sense. That's not quite accurate. It's not really off in the distance in this dream of mine. It's more like it's somewhere within me that I can reach and tap into. So no traveling or place to go other than to just look inward. And what I've known before, seen before, comes into focus. And I know, like in my dream, I get this feeling like, this is just the beginning of an endless journey, and it's time to expand. And I don't know what that means at that time exactly, but I know it's exciting, and I know it's something that I'm meant to do. And then I woke up. So that's sort of a mini description of my dream that happened a couple of years ago. That sort of, I feel like everything started to happen right after this dream. So this dream kind of triggered everything. And so it's been a fun ride so far, and I am hoping for more experiences, and I'm hoping to learn more through people that I'm going to hopefully start bringing on to the channel and interview. But yeah, that was my beginning dream, and just wanted to share that with you. Some people say that was maybe an astral projection. They could be right. Maybe that was an astral projection, and I interpreted it as a dream at the time because I didn't really know much about astral projection at that time. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll Talk to y'all later. Signing out.